Financial advice. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. Please invest your own money at your own risk. I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence and research as I will do mine. This video is not financial advice. What is up, everyone? This is Safe Investor, a GH percentile warrior. So there's a project that really caught my attention. I heard it on Space from one of my buddies, Ken Anderson, and so it really caught my attention. I'm very paranoid of now doing a video on any other utility projects that I personally know the founders or have seen the ins and out of that project. So I'm very wary and paranoid. So this one I felt comfortable, more than comfortable enough with, because one, well, if you go to About Us, my buddy Ken Anderson is a CTO. So, okay, so what is this? I reached out to him and I said, hey, well, what's up with TASHI? And, I'd like to get more info on this. And then he said, hey, why don't we jump on a call? And we talked about it. And I liked what I heard. So TASHI, the Forever Game Protocol. So if you go to Docs, click on Docs, okay, you'll go basically kind of to the white paper of this project. So TASHI is an ephemeral sidechain and a deep-in technology for gaming. It is a leap forward in both Web3 and Web2 gaming technology. TASHI is the world's first fully on DAG game, FODG, technology, moving the consensus engine from public layer 1 and layer 2 networks into the player's game sessions directly and building the supporting deep-in and key management infrastructure to provide the ideal gamer experience. For those of you who don't really understand, see, when you have a game, say for example Fortnite and you have a multiplayer game or you're playing with your buddies, Call of Duty or whatever, they use an online what's called a server. So when you send a command for your buddy that's online with you, it goes to the server and it bounces back to your buddy. So yeah, okay, we need to understand a server. If you're a beginner, that's what it is. So anyways, what does this mean for developers? This means that with the right netcode, game developers can move the logic of multiplayer games off of centralized servers, okay, and onto the player's machines directly. This is a fundamental shift in the paradigm of game design. Now, that's what caught my attention. That exact point. This means that with the right netcode, game developers can move the logic of multiplayer games off of centralized servers and onto the player's machines directly. So on the phone, I asked him, Ken, how is that possible? Like, you need a server. There has to be, a server. He says, no, you don't, not anymore. So now what they can do is, it has to be a one-on-one or multiplayer. They can move their gaming to a single or specific or private channel, which will act as a server. Because when you do a command on the game, it sends it to the server, and then it does a consensus process, and then it bounces it back to the other player. Not this way. So in Web 2 game design, the logic of game is enforced by game servers, centralized and costly to the publisher. Costly, guys. That means this tech can save him a lot of money. In pre-TASHI Web 3 game design, the logic of game is enforced in public layer 1 and layer 2 networks, decentralized but slow and costly to the players. Because as I explained, it has to get transmitted to the server and then bounce back to the other player and so on and so forth, which is why it's kind of slow. At TASHI, we've completely rewritten the hashgraph algorithm and optimize the virtual voting component to achieving incredibly low latency and high throughput. Each player becomes a node in an ephemeral sidechain where all of the players in the game session make up the network, transmitting game actions to each other. So they become their very own servers. Reaching consensus on the order of these game actions and processing those actions logically in same deterministic order based on the consensus protocol of TASHI. This results in multiplayer game sessions being decentralized, fast, and near free to both players and publishers. I just sat there like, wow. Now, see, I don't consider myself a smart guy, but I can read the room. Now, you explain something to me, I'll understand the idea. Maybe not the intricacies or the details, but this, ladies and gentlemen, they're replacing servers, which will save money to the video game host, inventor, whatever you want to call it. Speed, security, if you want to call it, also security. And completely making them decentralized and independent. This is crazy. So I asked him, how is this possible? He said, nodes. That makes sense. Through nodes. So each player, okay, basically gets assigned a specific node from what I understand. And that's how the gaming continues with no interruption and no risk of server crashing, because if the server crashes, everything goes to heck. So, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm extremely interested in this project. There's someone that I know and I can trust, because it's hard for me to trust any new utility projects. Like projects have reached out to me, and I'm just so weary now. I don't trust. But this one, I'm looking to interview my buddy Ken about this project, because I have a ton of questions about it, and timelines, time frames, and just all that jazz, because they're basically going to be running nodes that will act as servers, and it will cut the time between consensus between each games in the game room. So that node will act as a server, single server. Sorry, I got a text. It looks really amazing if you ask me. So, and I trust this because he's the CTO. So this is his little baby. So I'm he's got my attention. So I've been asking him, hey, so are they gonna have tokens? Are they gonna have? I said yes, we're gonna have all that jazz. And I'm like, okay, I want more information. So I'm just making this video as a summary of what this is. So I'm going to leave the link of tashi.gg. Check out their their webpage, and also their Twitter account. He has, I go to his spaces once a week. He's invited me, and probably the best decision I've ever made, because this is now, I've always been looking for a way to enter or invest in the gaming sector. I didn't know how. I kept wondering. See, I have a favorite meme token, I have favorite DEX tokens, and launch pads, but I've been looking for a gamer token, but not just a gamer, but if it's a platform that could eventually be so useful to those big names. So, I mean, big names, I'm talking about big, like Fortnite, and Call of Duty, and then Diablo or whatever. Does that make sense? This has a pretty bright future. Now, the Forever Gaming Protocol, I can see now why it's called Forever Gaming, Forever Game protocol, because you no longer need the author's server or whatever server. Pretty genius, if you ask me. So, anyways, that's it. Comment down below if you ever heard of Tashi. So I'm looking to interview him. I asked him if we can interview him maybe in a week or two, and he said he'd be happy to come on my show, and I'll interview him. And yeah, I'm very, very interested in this. So comment down below. What do you think about this? Do your due diligence. Please do your own due diligence. Come to the spaces if you want to know more. He takes questions about his protocol. But yeah, that's all I'm going to leave with you guys. This is Safe Investor AG. H. Sim Saucy Warrior. Stay saucy.